ASMR Money Mentor. We'll get started in just a moment, but you know the drill. You have to grab a beverage. Cheers. Relax. 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 I'm feeling very tired this evening. How about you? But I have a job to do. I have to make sure that you are relaxed and educated about money. And I also have to perform triggers so you can have tingles. Because after all, isn't that what ASMR is all about? All about. All about. So, I have a trigger of the week, and it is this box. Which will be making an appearance most likely all week. On Monday, tonight, which is March 3rd. March 3rd. March 3rd. I like that word, third. I like that word, third. Now, this is a carback. You'll be seeing it on Thursday's episode, by the way. I already produced Thursday's episode, and I show you what's inside. Let me see if I can open this up without making too much noise. Shh. my favorite ASMR videos have to do with ear cleaning. I think I see a lot of debt. That's not good. I think there's a lot of debt in this ear as well. Now that you are relaxed, we can continue on with the episode. So tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit about the illusion. The illusion that social media could be selling you. You know, I think people have to be a little careful, especially young people have to be careful, I think, in terms of who they support in social media. I mean, think about it. Last week, we had talked about how only 3% of people ever get to a millionaire status. Remember? That was the episode where I was talking through Aaron Talks Money. That's a YouTube channel that I enjoy, where Aaron talks about everything related to money, how to save money. She gives a lot of statistics, which are great. As you guys know, my podcast, or my YouTube channel, I should say, is more about my own personal experience and sharing that with you, which I think is a good thing as well. It gives people an idea of, I guess, what's possible. And I also mentioned last week that you don't hear from a lot of people like me that built wealth slowly. But I think you need to hear more about people that build wealth slowly, because believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that are doing really well, but you just don't see them. What do you see on social media? You see the very large influencers that are perhaps very charismatic, and they're selling you a dream that I think the statistics just does not support. just like, again, what I told you last week about how people, even at the end of their working career, still don't have $1 million in investable assets. So again, when people say, oh, that's not that much money, and yet they don't even have that much money in savings and investing, well then how can they criticize that number? I also spoke last week, remember if you saw my episode about the guy in Baltimore, Maryland, that was 58 years old and had nothing. And I said, I don't want you guys to be that person that gets to that age with nothing. I also wanted to talk about in this episode, which by the way, today we're talking about the illusion that social media could be selling you on Monday. Tomorrow when you come back, I'm going to talk about who wants to be a millionaire. Believe it or not, I was walking to my dumpster at my condo community and I found 3 lotto tickets, very large lotto tickets that I'll show you tomorrow. And it got me thinking about people that are trying to get $1 million by playing the lotto. And what does that really mean? And it took me back to 2005 when I was just beginning my financial journey. So come back tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about who wants to be a millionaire. Wednesday, March 5th. What have we got going on? I'm going to talk about how your savings rate, in my opinion, is the most important thing, especially for young people, and perhaps even more importantly for older people, to do great with money. So come back on Wednesday. I'll also give you an example of what my savings rate was 2 years ago. Thursday, that's where this comes into play. And this comes into play. And the box that I showed you, because I have an episode about how saving for your future is easier than using a car pack. Friday, March 7th. 4 ways on how not to live your life like a broke opera. Not a soap opera, but a broke opera. So come back on Friday for that as well. I'm going to be talking through the young and the moneyless, and the broke and the beautiful. But back to the content of today's episode. Again, Monday, March 3rd. You know, I just really can't stress that enough, how as an older person, I'm 59, you know, I go on YouTube and I look at certain things and I know who the big influencers are. And many times I will watch their videos because it gives me an awareness, especially then for young people, of how they may be living their lives, trying to keep up with people that they see on social media. And it's really interesting, like I said just a few minutes ago, it's very charismatic. They are very charismatic. And I think they're also very fun to watch. They're very fun to watch. But I start again thinking about those statistics that I shared with you last week. 97% of people, I mean, think about it, 97% watching, and he has a penthouse apartment in downtown Miami, and he's 27 years old. And he gives a little tour of his penthouse apartment with beautiful views of buildings, beautiful view of the water. And I'm thinking, this guy's 27 years old, and then he says, I want to get a bigger place. I want a larger place for my things, my material items. Now, granted, he also said he earned his first $1 million at 27. So, I understand you have to keep things in perspective, but as an influencer, people in social media, I don't know that they can really guarantee that they're going to be able to continue to make that kind of money. There's just so much risk in living your life and chasing the dreams that you see on social media. And for some of you, it may work out really well. If you follow people like that and you make a lot of money, wonderful. But for this person that I'm talking about, I hope that he's investing a lot of that money in things that will generate more income. Now, he seems really smart, so he probably could be doing really well and investing his money, but unfortunately, you hear about a lot of people also, especially young people, that spend all of their money. They squander it because they did the penthouse apartment, they did the expensive cars, and they just spent it all rather than preparing for their future, because they thought that that income would just continue and continue and continue. And so